Good morning, everybody. I'm Danielle Knox. Good to be with you. Welcome to the Balancing Act. Today, Ivy Larson gives us details on what she'll be covering in the 10-week Balancing Act Lifestyle Makeover in the coming weeks, every Tuesday and Thursday. And a marriage expert and licensed therapist tells us about his book and what it takes to build a strong foundation in relationships, as well as how to repair the broken ones. All that and more great stuff today on the Balancing Act.
Our next guest, Ivy Larson, is a certified sports medicine fitness expert, healthy lifestyle coach, and cooking instructor, and she pursues her love of cooking and culinary talents by creating all of the whole food recipes featured in her two books,
Wow,
The Gold Coast Cure and Fitter, Firmer, Faster. She co-authored them with her husband, who's a physician.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing about Ivy is with diet and exercise, she has put her own MS into remission for over a decade now. And we're featuring her in a special Balancing Act makeover for our viewers these next few months. So we really want to find out more about this with you, Ivy, because your story is incredible. But tell us about this 10-week lifestyle makeover.
Well, we're going to be doing a variety of segments, including cooking, nutrition, fitness, and just general healthy living strategies to help women shape up and shed pounds without deprivation dieting and without going to extremes.
Deprivation. That is my kind of diet. Yeah.
So can you give us a sneak peek of what's coming up in future weeks?
Yeah, we're going to launch the program with a kitchen makeover and a pantry shape up, and we're also going to be doing a lot of fitness, designing fitter, firmer, faster workouts. So we're going to show women easy ways they can shape up without necessarily having to join a gym, how to increase their metabolism, just general healthy living strategies.
So now I know you have a Whole Foods cookbook coming out. Are you going to be sharing some of these recipes with our viewers as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be doing short, quick, and easy recipes, and also the recipes that the viewers can download on my website and also on the show's website. And all of the recipes are they're flavor-forward and innovative recipes, but they're using foods that people hear about that are healthy, but they don't necessarily know how to cook with them, like the white soybeans, the cans of white soybeans, or the tofu, flax seeds. So, and they will all be healthy for the whole family.
How to prepare it. So what are your main goals and objectives of the 10-week lifestyle makeover?
Well, I think the most important thing for me is to prove to women that living a healthy lifestyle is not synonymous with deprivation. And same thing with exercise, for example. You don't need to spend an hour 6 days a week exercising. With diet, you don't need to necessarily resort to deprivation dieting. You can still eat delicious foods. You can eat until you're full and satisfied simply by learning how to optimize nutrition. So we're going to be talking about a lot of easy strategies that people can use, and also how to get the whole family involved, because I think that's important.
Absolutely. Sometimes people are a little bit hesitant to do something like this because they feel like, I'm going to do this for 10 weeks, I'm not going to see any results.
Right.
What makes this program different, and what can viewers expect in terms of results after this 10-week program?
Right. Well, my husband, he's a physician, so first and foremost, this program was designed to improve people's health. And we've done the 4-, 5-, and 8-week lifestyle makeover programs in New Jersey and in South Florida at hospitals and hospital wellness centers. And in just a matter of 4 weeks, you'll decrease your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your triglycerides. And then the side benefit is, of course, you're going to lose weight.
Question?
Yes.
Am I going to decrease these hips? Okay, because that's my #1 trouble spot.
No. I think, well, you'll definitely see a decrease in pounds, but most importantly, it's a decrease in body fat percentage and in inches.
Okay.
So
but
I'll build some muscle.
Yeah, you'll build muscle, you'll increase your metabolism.
You're a big believer in working out smarter, not harder. What does that mean?
I'm a very big proponent of exercising with focusing on quality versus quantity. And so my main thing with exercise is to focus on doing an exercise that increases your resting metabolism as opposed to doing an exercise that just increases the number of calories you burn each day. Because your resting metabolism actually accounts for more than 70% of the calories you burn each day, which is significant. So if you can increase your resting metabolism, it's a lot easier to lose weight rather than
lose weight while you sleep.
I love that. Oh, that's an exercise program I'm all for. But so basically what you're saying is that you don't have to spend an hour in the gym to get wonderful results.
You can get results, and we've done, like I said, we've done 4-, 5-, and 8-week programs in the past, so I expect with 10 weeks the results will be better. But exercising just 30 minutes 3 times a week, you can definitely see results. And I think that's motivating for busy women who can't fit exercise who feel like they can't fit exercise into their lifestyles.
Okay, so remember, Ivy and Larson's book is called Fitter, Firmer, Faster. I like that. And watch for her in upcoming weeks for the 10-week lifestyle makeover. Thanks, Ivy.
Thank you, Ivy. Coming up next, one woman's inspiring success story tells us how you can have it all. Stay tuned.
Now here's a great solution for you out there that don't have enough space to store your stuff. You know, where sometimes we're limited on closet space and drawers, but here's a great solution. Use decorative containers. I sew a lot, so I like to store all my sewing gadgets and threads and pins and needles in here, and then I can actually use it on a tabletop and nobody knows the difference that I've got all my good stuff in here. Then otherwise you can also purchase ready-made boxes that are already decorated, or you can take your own fabric and ribbon and decorate them the way that you want to. Now in this box I like to put photographs in there. So I've stored up all my memories in there. If you've got kids and a lot of artwork, a bigger box like this might be really handy to have to store all that in. And of course if you scrapbook or if you just collect a lot of different things, it's a great way to store all this stuff. Now these are all very simple solutions that you can do yourself.
Well, attention all you working mothers out there, there is indeed a way to have it all. Our next guest, Donna Hamilton, is the breadwinner in her family. She's active in her community. She has 3 children under the age of 6, including twins. And on top of all of that, she works at Microsoft as the Senior Communications Manager for the Office of the CIO. Donna has recently accepted a rare award from Bill Gates himself, and she's here with us this morning to tell us all about her keys to success. Donna, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
All right, so when you went to college, what were your aspirations? What did you study?
I studied public relations. So I have a bachelor's degree in PR from a school in New Jersey, and I thought I always wanted to work in PR. However, I started actually programming computers in about 7th grade. So I also had a technical aptitude as well, and I actually started my career as a technical recruiter, and then in '98 was recruited by Microsoft.
All right, so you wind up as the Senior Communications Manager at Microsoft.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that evolution.
Sure. So I started as a technical recruiter in '98, and then I became a product manager working on Microsoft's recruiting systems. From there I became a technical trainer, so training some of our users on system applications. And in that job I saw a niche. I remember saying to my VP via an email, hey, there's a piece of the puzzle missing here. I think you're lacking a central communications team. And he agreed with me. And not only did he put the position in place, but he offered me the job as well.
And you're like, hey, I just created my own job at Microsoft.
I did. I created my own job. And then from that job, I was offered the job that I have today, which is the communications manager for our CIO, Tony Scott.
Here's the thing that I struggle with is trying to figure out what my passion is. How do I not only harness that passion, but utilize it in a way that's positive for both me and my family? Did you ever go through any of those struggles trying to figure out exactly how you were going to do it all?
Absolutely. I still go through it today.
I do too, yeah.
But I think that, you know, through strong organizational skills, constant reprioritization, and doing sanity checking with my spouse is also really important to make sure that every day I wake up saying, I'm lucky I get to go to work today, and at the end of the night, I can go to rest thinking I've done what's right for me, right for my family, and right for my company.
Did you ever have those times you said, you know what, I'm just going to stay home with the kids. Forget this. I can't do both. And I think that's a struggle that I know a lot of our viewers go through as well, especially, you know, if it's your first child.
Yeah.
You feel like, how am I going to do all of this?
For us, when I talked to my husband about it, we had agreed that Jim works relatively part-time hours right now and is the primary caregiver when they're little. And then when my oldest turns 13, my goal is to work part-time for a while and stay home with her then.
That's wonderful. So during this time, how does all of that personal figure into how you are as a professional? And how has Microsoft been in terms of support of that?
Microsoft's been very supportive. When I started in '98, I was single.
Okay.
I met my husband in 2000. 2001, we were engaged. 2002, we were married. And even before our first wedding anniversary, my daughter was born.
Oh, boy.
And then she was 2.5 when my twins were born. So Microsoft has supported me through being my single life, through getting married and having my children, and even supports me today through the wonderful benefits programs that they offer. They also have some diversity initiatives that they have in-house, such as Women at Microsoft and Women in IT, to support me as well.
You know, I think this is one of the challenges that I face, and maybe a lot of viewers out there face it as well. How do you balance, Donna, the personal and the professional?
It's a tough balance, I will say that. It requires constant reprioritization and amazing organizational skills. I also time box things. So in every job, there's going to be times where you have to really spend a lot of time in the office. And I'm comfortable doing that, but I often time box it and say, okay, I'm willing to do this for 2 months' time, and then I need to reshift my priorities and focus again on my family.
How supportive is your husband in all of this?
He's fantastic. I think the key to my success is really having a strong relationship and a strong partner in my husband, Jim.
So what would your message be to other women out there, other working women out there?
I would say you can have it all. Go big or go home.
I agree.
Life's too short to sit on the couch. Go after all the things that you want in life and be an optimist in everything that you do. Count your blessings and go after what you want in life.
Donna Hamilton, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
And coming up next on The Balancing Act, how to shatterproof your marriage. Stay tuned.
You know, there was a time when a marriage was meant to last forever. Remember, till death do us part? But somehow, over the years, for many, views on marriage have changed significantly. The divorce rate is now 55%. So what happened to our generation? Could it be that our grandparents were more tolerant and accepting than we are now? Did they know something we don't? Or have our values on relationships changed? Well, here to help us answer why so many couples give up on their bond is licensed marriage and family therapist John Eckenweiler, author of Shatterproof Your Marriage, an indispensable guide to creating a long-lasting relationship. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me,
Good to
Wendy.
have you here. There are many people in the office who are excited to have you here to answer our questions.
It's great to be here.
First of all, what's happened to marriage?
Well, a lot of things have happened, but I think our culture puts a lot of pressure on all of us to listen too much to our feelings, and I think we become pretty self-absorbed. To be frank about it, I see people in my office all the time who are preoccupied with their own feelings about how they think things should be, and if things aren't that way, they want to bail.
So describe your book, Shatterproof Your Marriage. How did you come to write it?
I have been seeing people through the years, and I just... some people were giving up that I didn't think would give up, and some people were staying together that I thought were going to be separated a long time ago. And I couldn't figure out what really set one group apart from the other. And what I found is that there are three key elements that really are required for people to stay together.
Okay, so what are the three elements?
First is the right personal character. I think as a marriage partner, you have to have the right character. You have to be able to face adversity with some resilience. You also have to know what your expectations are and make sure that they're in line with the marriage commitment you've made. Also, your value system. What kinds of things do you value in life? And how do you define happiness and love?
And what else? Are those the three?
The second one is the right kind of love, and the third one is having the right spirit.
The right kind of spirit. What do you mean by that?
Well, people come in and say that they really want solutions and they want to fix their marriage, but then when I offer them some direction, they don't seem to want it after all. They find ways of sabotaging, and I think it's because they're preoccupied with their anger or their disappointment. They're focusing on that instead of saying, I really want things to get better. I'm going to get beyond my own feelings.
So an ability to focus on the solution rather than the problem.
Precisely.
Okay, so what about people who are currently in relationship crisis? Do you have any quick fix solutions for them?
Well, I think first of all, people need to just look at what are their expectations and what are their disappointments. A lot of people are disappointed or they're upset about the immediate situation, but there's something bigger going on that disappointed them maybe a long time ago. They need to get to the root of that.
Where can people go to find out more information about your book?
The website, shatterprooflife.com.
Shatterprooflife.com, and the book is Shatterproof Your Marriage. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Up next, top chef Michelle Bernstein talks to us about her flavorful life. Hi everybody, welcome back to The Balancing Act. I'm Danielle Knox and I am joined by celebrity chef Michelle Bernstein of Mishi's Restaurant. Thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Thank you for coming to my little humble abode.
There's nothing humble about this, let me tell you right now, because one of the things that struck me, I have to tell you, when I walked in was the decor. I feel like I'm walking into just luxurious, you know, Barbie house. Was that kind of the influence?
Absolutely, yeah. My sister and I just wanted to bring back what we had in our childhood, and she designed the most fabulous Barbie houses. So yeah, we brought back the 70s a little bit.
It looks great.
Thank you very much.
You know, here's the thing I think is interesting is that you were a ballerina.
Oh yeah.
Ballerinas don't eat.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah. And now you have this wonderful restaurant. How did you transition from ballerina to chef?
Yeah, that was 50 pounds ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And so how do you go from a ballerina who really has to, you know, food is, I don't want to say food is the enemy, but it really isn't the focus.
Food is actually
it is
the enemy. Yeah, unless you're cooking it, which is what I decided to do.
Okay.
When I started cooking, I was 88 pounds, and I didn't really have to eat that much when I started because it wasn't about tasting my food, it was about reproducing. And when I finally fell in love with things like duck liver and all that good stuff, and I started tasting, I realized, okay, well, maybe I can eat. After a few years of college studying nutrition, somehow it turned into this crazy career.
Look
if you would have
at
told me,
that.
I never would have known that I actually would have been a professional chef. I thought that was for those big, strong, manly types, you know, that come to your table with a butcher's knife if you don't like the food.
Exactly, right? You know, I think for a lot of women who are trying to balance it all, but do want to branch out and do their own thing, there's just this fear of starting their own business. Did you have that fear, and how did you overcome that?
There's always fear. I had fear, and I still, to this day, have fear. Sometimes I wonder if I will be unpopular, nobody will come in, seriously. But I think that you have to just control the fear and fill your mind and spirit and heart with passion. And drive that will drive you through that hard time. And if you've got a good product and if you have a lot of love for it and for people that will be enjoying it, you got to do it.
So how do you balance everything? Because you've got TV shows, plural, you've got restaurants, plural, you've got your husband, you've got all of this going on. How do you find that balance, Michelle?
Knowing that I'm not alone, that I can't do it alone. You know, I'm only as strong as everybody around me. So thank God for a husband. Thank God for very good friends, family, and coworkers that I've been with a long time.
You know, you cook with such style and such spice and, you know, in the kitchen. So how does that transfer over to your love life? Do you, with your husband, do you guys
How do you
work
think I
together?
got him with food?
Oh, you know what? So you'll have to teach me some of those recipes.
Anytime, anytime.
That
Absolutely.
actually, I think that is so wonderful. Do you have any tips for other women out there in terms of, because they always say the way to a man or even woman's heart is through their stomach.
That's right.
Any tips? Because I think a lot of us may look at cooking as actually something too difficult for us to tackle rather than the everyday kind of mundane stuff that we prepare for our families.
Well, it's funny, you know, I always tell people to think about their background. However it is that you grew up is probably what you know best about cooking. So if there are flavors that you grew up with that you love, or that you know that your husband or wife or friends love, that's all about comfort, you know. Comfort food is the way to people's hearts. And I always tell people, you know, your last dish be just as good or better as your first.
Oh, that's great advice. And I have to tell you, as much as I love you, and you know I do, and as much as I loved interviewing you, you know what I'm looking forward to, right?
Everybody just wants my food.
Everybody wants your food, myself included. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, girlie, you ready to do this?
Are you ready to do this?
That is a good question. The answer is no, because I'm intimidated by
No,
this
you're
lady.
not. This is simple stuff here.
All right,
so
got my
you don't
apron.
Get so that I don't get you dirty.
All right, sounds good.
So the first thing we're going to make is one of my favorites to start off with. It's a shrimp tiradito. All of this mayonnaise.
Okay,
Put that into this bowl.
okay, got it.
And then
Mayonnaise.
only 1 spoonful of this, which is called ají amarillo, which is a paste. It's a puree of yellow chili from Peru.
Ooh, sounds
Okay,
good.
So just 1 spoonful
One
into that
spoonful.
mayo.
Okay.
So this is going to be our topping for.
Oh, that looks good.
So this can go on, if you want, it can go on to the shrimp a good hour before you serve it to really soak in the flavor, or you can do it as we do it a la minute, which is right before it hits the dining room table. A little bit of that fresh cilantro.
Yummy.
Then I've got my favorite corn nuts.
I
which
love
you can-
corn nuts.
I know.
Oh, that's a great combination. I
They're
love
so
that.
delicious and so crispy. And
What else do we have here?
okay, well, we have something a little more funky. We've got rabbit loin,
Okay.
and it's wrapped in smoked bacon. Okay, and so all we do, what I've got here are dandelion greens, also grown in South Florida, and some delicious sweet carrots, and we're going to saute these up. And with the dandelion green, it just needs to be braised just delicately.
Okay.
It is a little bit bitter, which I happen to like because you've got the sweet, the salty, and the
Exactly.
bitter all together.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much. It has been such a treat for me to be here with you this morning.
It's
I've
even
learned
more
some
of a treat
great
for me.
things. Oh, well, you are so wonderful. Mwah. Thank you. I do
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
And thank you for joining us here this morning on The Balancing Act. Be sure to tune in every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Guess what? I'm going to let you go because I've got some eating to do. What do you think I should try? I do want to try this rabbit.
Absolutely.
Actually.
Air travel for the Balancing Act provided by Southwest Airlines.